Yeah.
The retro video game store where I actually got a couple PS2 games I had when I was a kid that I was happy to get again. NASCAR Dirt to Daytona, that's an old NASCAR one that I liked playing back when I was a kid. And an old Monster Jam game that was one of my favorite PS2 games when I was a kid too, that I only lost because I left it out in the rain one time on my back porch. Video games don't work after you leave them out in the rain.
Why did you? Why did you leave it on the back porch? I think
I
that's.
left it there, okay? I was a little kid at the time.
Why was it out there?
I brought it with me and I was playing and I forgot it outside because the weather went to shit and everything. It was out there.
Like,
I also got
yeah, I get it.
I also
Just gonna go out to the backyard with my favorite toys. I got my Transformers. I got my Madden 2K edition. And just start banging them together.
They got wet. You just have to dry them off. The freaking video game, that shit gets wet. Freaking, you may as well just freaking throw that shit out in the trash.
I just don't. Okay, this is maybe it was just because of the way I was raised and stuff like that. But I mean, I left stuff outside all the time. I left my Game Boy outside, and somehow it still worked. But it's like that. I get, but you left. You said PS2 game? Why was the disc outside?
This is the case.
So I'm guessing you were probably like showing it to a friend and stuff like that, and then
No,
just
I was
like
carrying it around because I was freaking little kid at the time and I was very protective of certain shit.
Okay, I can kind of see a little bit more there, because I was like, why else? I'm not gonna walk around with like Legend of Dragoon doing this, like, what's up guys? I got my Legend of Dragoon. I was a poor kid, but I was like, yeah, what's up guys? The one person in my neighborhood who wasn't doing drugs. Want to see what I got? It's like,
You know how much that freaking Legend of Dragoon would be freaking these days?
Yeah.
Bet.
This is the reason why I'm not playing it, and it's not on my shelf. I want to get like, if I get the original like game with the case and everything, I want to get like one of those big like posters you can put on your wall, and it like frames everything. I really want that so bad. I also want that with like.
It's a Black Label.
I could.
Apparently, for some reason, people always prefer to get in Black Label versions of certain video games like Final Fantasy VII over the green one.
Yeah, I mean, I would. It depends. It really just depends. Like, if I can find the original copy I had, I would rather do that. Just because at least that has history behind it. It's not just the game. Because I could honestly just grab a random CD disc, screen print the disc design on it, and boom, hang it up on the wall and say, "There we go." But I don't know. It won't have the same memories and stuff with it. I remember like the whole guide you can get. It was like this thick for all 4 discs. It was stupid. It was crazy.
That to tell people how old you are, John, because you're old enough to remember what gaming manuals are when they used to have those in video games back in the day.
I still have a few of them
I
lying around, because back when they like manuals, they got shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
And they just started giving you the basics. But there was a while where manuals were literature. There would be lore in there, and there was a lot of stuff that was just fun to read. Like the Warcraft 2 manual has tons of like actual like lore and literature in it. That I just enjoy reading. And that stuff is important too, like because the more further back we go in history, the less good the games look. And the players have to use more of their imagination. So having that lore there helps players align themselves to the world that they should be in.
Yeah, that's the cool thing I like about the Halo games, at least the first 3 with the manuals and everything. I actually gave you story bits and gave you information about, like the Marines and freaking the Covenant and the weapons and everything.
Yeah, I mean, those manuals were great. Even the ones that would actually come in, like you're saying, is like the actual like game cases and things like that. Like those were even better. I remember Resident Evil 1. It was in a thick case, and the reason it was in a thick case because like the booklet it gave you was as thick as my phone. Like it was crazy because they had like a page just for the actual characters, and they were square too. Like all PS1 games were squared cased, and so it would just be even thicker because they can't go longer. And man, great times. Go ahead.
I haven't seen that instruction manual, but I'm just thinking that they probably have a description for that guy who gets killed in the opening cutscene. And there's something about putting his profile in there. It creates this sense that this character is going to be more involved in it. So imagine reading the manual first, being like, oh, no, okay, here's all the characters, and then getting into the game and like, oh, that guy got eaten up super quick, and it just
Quick.
messes with the person's expectations and creates a sense of, wow, people are actually gonna get killed in this game. I
Yeah.
thought everybody was gonna get through alive.
Yeah, like you got to see literally like you even got to see like Rebecca Chambers like actual dialogue in there. You actually got to see like or read her whole entire description, and she was in there for Chris part for only like 20 minutes of gameplay at most. That's even with running down the halls and she's following you. Like you don't see anything else with her, but then they go down the list of who she is, where she came from. She was born in fucking Alabama. She became a med student, and I'm like, no one needs to know this, but it's like looking at it now, it's like so cool the fact that this was a situation in gaming, and it's just a great time.
Yeah, because if players are gonna use their imagination, they're not just imagining like that scenario that the game depicts. They're imagining everything. Like really like if you're really into the characters, fan fiction, like where do they go to school? Maybe what was going on in training, and people start to paint this huge picture in their head about what these characters were up to all this time. And that's why a lot of these old game franchises have such a loyal fan base. It's because they had to be resourceful at the time and endear players to these worlds.